Welcome back to a follow-up video. So how to animate an exploded view both on X and Z axis. This will be the case study. So we see the components. Some of them will be controlled using this empty X axis, while the others, the one going upwards. Now this will be a follow-up for my previous video. If you haven't checked that, you're gonna find the information over here step by step. This is regarding the animation of the elements of the wheel. So the wheel, the rims, and the disc brakes, the calipers, and all of those. And we're going to use a copy location in this case. And we can also use the invert axis in order to mirror it onto the other side. Now over here, I will just take a look at some of the elements so you know how to create those. For example, if I will go back over here onto 0, we're going to see that this windshield over here will have the copy location based on the empty z-axis, which will be that one, and this will have an influence of 0.9. The other components, in this case 0.9 as well for the other windows. The main advantage of creating an exploded animation like this is that we can control that influence amount, and that will change the duration of that animation. But the doors will also have two copy locations. So one will be the z-axis over here as a target, and the second one will be the x-axis that I use for the wheels over here. And we're gonna see that this is why those doors will animate like this, and at the end they will go back to the original position. I highly encourage you to go forward and do the same with the interior of this car, or maybe a different car, because there are some really interesting animations that can be defined like this. For example, we can create a VR application where we are gonna sit within the car, and we're gonna have all of those components assembled around us. Let's say if I also wanna add some elements, maybe those two, I can select those. At the end, I will select one of the elements that already has that z-axis constraint, for example, this one, and I will copy the selected. And afterwards, I can change the value. Maybe I will go with 0.95 in this case, 0.95, and those will be added to the exploded view. We can go ahead and do the same for the chairs. If you want, you can also join all of those elements associated to a chair. So I still have one mesh over here. For example, this will be a chair. You can join that, and now we can also add it to the same constraint by selecting initially the chair, afterwards one of the elements that already has that copy constraint, and we can copy to selected. And afterwards we can change the value. Maybe I will leave 0.5 for the chair, and we're gonna see how that chair will also be animated over here. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this kind of content. I will position a similar video on the left side, and I will also add a subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.